So this is a follow-up video to the last video I made concerning beware of the worthless CDL. And I want to make a public service announcement. If you live in South Florida, south of Orlando, Tampa area, do not get your CDL from a school in South Florida unless it is a nationally known and accepted school. A school that you can maybe look up, or you can call them and they'll tell you that they work with a bunch of other companies nationwide, that their program is accepted by places like Swift and Prime and CR England and US Express and all the rest. All right. Don't go to someone who runs the school by himself, or two people, or anything like that. Any sort of mom and pop little organization that is accredited. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the CDL will not be legit. But from what I'm seeing, the CDL, the training that you get south of Tampa, south of Orlando, they don't respect it unless it comes from a select few schools that the rest of these companies trust. I talked to 5 different companies yesterday, and all 5 of them said that they don't hire south of Orlando unless, and I had one company tell me, well, unless you went to this specific school or that specific school. All the rest they could care less about. They want you to have 6 or 8 months or a year or whatever of experience unless you went to these specific schools. Now, I'm telling you all this. If you live in South Florida, okay, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, anything like that, south of Orlando, take my warning, okay, and don't end up in the situation that I am in, to where people are telling me, oh, well, you got to get your CDL transferred to a different state, and so that way we can hire you, because that's what someone from Swift said. If I can get basically change my address and have obviously the CDL put into a different state, then they can hire me. And the reason they said is that, it's hard because not a lot of loads go this far south, and not a lot of loads come out of Florida, South Florida, I guess, to places where they deliver. So there will be a lot of deadhead driving from South Florida to the load, or from your last load to when you're going home, driving to South Florida. But I will tell you, when I named the CDL school that I went to, the guy from Swift, he was like, oh, that sounds suspicious. And I'm going to tell you, like I said in my last video, South Florida, we have a lot of, this is like the nation capital of scamming. Okay, we have a lot of scams. They do scams for health insurance, car insurance. I remember they created fake COVID shot cards, like when you needed the COVID vaccine to be able to return to your job. They had people scamming those cards so that you could say you got the shot even though you didn't. And the list goes on down here. So the CDL is no different. I remember hearing about people that bought their CDL outright, never got any training. Also, people who, there was a school that actually told me that they would give me 1 week of training, and then I could go take the CDL test, the exam, right there at the school, and then go pick up my CDL like the very next week. So when the guy said, oh, that sounds suspicious, he didn't elaborate on that, but I feel like that's a part of why a lot of companies don't hire from South Florida, is because they don't trust the schools down here. They feel like a lot of people come untrained, maybe didn't even get training, or whatever the case is. So I'm not gonna make this a long video. Just want to say that, okay, if you live south of Orlando, do not even bother with any of these schools. It doesn't matter what kind of rating they have on Google. It doesn't matter if your homeboy went there. At least this is my experience, okay? Like I said in the other video, if you have a job already or a job lined up, and they're telling you, okay, just go and get your CDL, and then we'll put you into the truck, or your friend is gonna squeeze you in as soon as you go get your CDL from, mom and pop CDL.com or something like that, then that's different. But if you're gonna have to search on your own for a driving job after you get your CDL, don't bother going to any of these schools, okay? Go ahead and apply to the Swift training program. Sign the contract with them. It's going to be easier for you. Go ahead and join the Prime program, sign the contract, or US Express, whatever the case is, night transportation. All right, it's going to be much easier for you to go ahead and get that initial job without having to be told by a gazillion companies that, well, we don't hire south of Orlando, we don't hire south of Tampa. Oh, well, yeah, we normally do hire, but since you're south of Tampa, south of Orlando, we can't hire you. Go ahead and drop me a subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you all have heard about what I'm saying and what your experience is wherever you're from. I'm pretty sure everywhere else you guys don't have this problem. So, you know, if you want to comment about how it is wherever you're from, I'd love to hear. Like I said, subscribe, like the video too. I appreciate you watching. And until next time, I'll see you all soon.